PlayStation has reported a $765 million impairment loss due to underperformance by Bungie. That's right, boys. Like, you thought Marathon crashed out? You didn't even know. Look at this. Like, I'm telling you, like, guys, this is bad. So in summary, Sony's $765 million impairment loss from Bungie means they are downwardly adjusting the value of an asset that I think everyone but Sony realized was probably not worth $3.6 billion. That's not lost money in the sense that some are thinking it is. Well, it's a bad evaluation, and the bad evaluation is because you thought that you were sailing a ship to El Dorado, but it turns out it's going into the Bermuda Triangle, and it's not very good. That's what's happening. That's it, yeah. No, it's not that the ship changed value. It's just that they thought it was going in one direction, and it's not. It's not. So that it's going to Somalia. Yes, exactly. Well, if it was going to Somalia, it'd probably be full of fucking money from Minnesota. So it'd be all right. Anyway, this wouldn't happen if Bungie games were doing great and printing loads of cash. Clearly, they're not. That's exactly it. Now you're right. Is that this would not happen? Like, they would not be saying that they lost this much money if the company was doing well. This is crazy. And also a $765 million. So if Bungie was valued at $3.6 billion and it's been reduced by about, I mean, look, let's just make it easy. Let's say 36, right? So what is 36? Well, 36 is like almost 8 million. That's like, fuck. Let me think about this. That's like 17%. That's like 17% of the company. That's massive. To lose 17% of the value of the company, that's nuts. Holy fucking shit, man. And a 20% devaluation, more than 20%, yeah, something like that. I'm just doing, like, I'm doing math in my head, right? I mean, like, it's somewhere around there. But anyway, you know, it's got to be worse than what they're admitting. Exactly, yeah. I mean, imagine buying something. Imagine you had $100 and now you have $83. Are you happy? I'd be mad. I'd be so mad. Oh my God, I'd be so mad. Like, I lost $17. Right? No, but it's okay. Yeah, but like, imagine it's like $765 million though, right? I mean, that's a lot more money than like $17. So yeah, that's layoffs are coming. That's right. They sure are. And so Sony is at least publicly backing Marathon per its comments. So the information about Marathon was so bad that Sony had to come out and reaffirm to everybody that it was okay. They had to tell everybody, Sony's CFO, that's the chief financial officer, that is Mr. Money, okay? Confirmed Marathon will continue to be supported. When you have the CFO making statements about like a product offering, I don't know what that means, but I know it's not good. I'll tell you that. It is not good at all. So, it's so sad. Destiny had a bright future and they fucked it all away. Well, look, the Marathon release. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Where is it? YouTube. Where's the YouTube? Let me go to the YouTube. Marathon release dev diary, I guess. Visions, is this it? I don't know if this is it or not. Like, the original one that they did, I'm pretty sure it had fucking, I don't know if this, I'm pretty sure this isn't it. I feel like it's one that's before this. Maybe it's on the Marathon page. I just want y'all to see it if I can. Developer Insight, there's more of these. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Can I show this?
Yo, how's it going? My name's Joe Ziegler.
They have the pronouns. They have the pronouns on their names. There it is. I mean, you don't do that unless you're retarded. You know who does that? Retarded. That's who does that. Hassan's take on Akash Singh wife. I don't know what the fuck that is. So that's really, how do you pronounce it? I don't know. And so massive red flag. So if you, let me give you all some advice. If it's a Japanese company that's doing it, I actually forgive them for being more woke because they're not basing their decisions off of what they want. It's just being done through a localization service. So I actually hold it against Japanese and foreign companies a lot less. But actual Western companies that are doing this, they're doing it for an ideological reason. And when I see a company that does this, I assume that they've become ideologically captured. And the moment, like this, what this means is that you have people that think that there's more than two genders that are making this game. What does that mean? That means that you have people that have a profound refusal with reality that are involved with a process. When you have a person who is actively refusing observable reality, you should assume that that pathology will translate to other realities as well. It's kind of like it's an indicator. It's like what I said before. Like the moment that I hear somebody thinks that, you know, a kid can be trans, the earth is flat, you know, like dinosaur bones were put in by the Jews to make Christians not believe in Jesus. You know, like they talk to aliens, that, you know, they can talk to dead people in dreams. Like the moment that I hear that from somebody, I recognize that this is a person that can't be trusted. This is a person that you can't trust to make any decisions. You can't rely on their judgment for anything. And so this is the same thing. Is that like sneaking in actual facts I see? Good one. And so anyway, you look at the Bungie's Destiny 2, know why the game is shit? Yeah, exactly. And so retarded was decent assessment to begin with, but go on. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like, I think that we should be more used to and more willing to, like, for example, like the child marriage is a good example of this, right? Like if somebody can't come to the easy and simple understanding that anybody, again, like I'm going to be extremely liberal with this because this isn't my personal opinion, but any age under like 14 and especially pre-puberty, like any sexual relations with like the other gender pre-puberty, that person, I don't want to hear any of their morality. I don't want to hear anything that they're going to say. Like, I make an exception for like inside of historical context, right? But like, you know, somebody 500 years ago, okay, that's fine. But like, if you think that today, everything is off the table with me. Like, I don't want to hear your moral judgments and your evaluations on anything. Does that make sense? Even 500 years ago, it was seen as bad. Western politics is so weird. Well, like, here's my point, though, right? Is that that should be an indicator for you that this person is not worth listening to. How does this relate to the pronouns here? Because it's the same thing. That's how it relates. Never been so wrong about necromancy. There's scientific proof people can hear the dead. You're wrong about it? Okay, well then why aren't dead people telling you anything? Why is a dead person never said where their treasure was buried? That's right, because it's not real. Like, again, like, I don't want to hear any of your bullshit. You're literally just a retard. It's not even worth engaging and proving you wrong. So anyway, this is it. Here's what they said in full. So this is so I just want you guys to see that Marathon was infected right from the beginning. It was infected by morons that are at war with reality. Big surprise that those people can't generate or make anything good. Really. It's pretty fucking simple. So anyway, let me go back. I'll look at this here. And where's the statement? In our studio business, earnings from Bungie's title portfolio did not reach our expectations, so we downwardly revised our business plan and impaired the full amount of the fixed assets related to Bungie except for goodwill. Player reception to Marathon is strong, with the game receiving a Metacritic score of 82 and more than 90% of the player reviews on Steam being positive. Engagement metrics such as retention also remain at a high level. Well, that's not true. This is not a high level. This is a low level. I can tell because of the direction. Yeah, it's just not true. Why do you care, though? Because I want to see games that represent an ideology that I think is regressive and bad die. It's that simple. Yeah, I want to see the game die. It's really simple. I don't like what it represents. I mean, is it? Can I make it any more clear? Yeah. What a loser take. Well, let me pull this up. Why is it a loser take? What does it represent? It represents an ideology of the gender stuff, of the weird androgynous characters, of the subversion of natural beauty into perverse, weird standards being replaced. I think that's why. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, Matt, that's exactly what I think. Like, I try to be... And I want y'all to understand this. Whenever people ask me these questions, I try to answer them directly. Like, that's actually what I think. I'll just tell you what I think. Wanting something you won't play or care about to die is loser mentality? Why is it loser mentality? Like, I know you've already established that viewpoint, but why? This is going to get an error. Yeah, I think that most people like this, the NPC programming probably doesn't go that far, so this is going to be a while. We'll see. Dialogue about to reset? Yeah. Because you're putting out negative energy because they have pronouns? Like it's lame, bro? I think pronouns are lame. I think that what it represents is bad. And I don't like the culture that it reinforces. So any level of a failure inside of things that represent that culture is a victory for me, because it's another point on the graph that the people can see, companies can see, investors can see, and players can see, and developers can see that this ideology and this representation will fail in a commercial setting, which will make people in the future less likely to engage and use that commercial behavior. Does that make sense? Pronouns even in the game? It's not... I don't know. I didn't play. I played it one time. I didn't even notice. The people that made it are. What is the problem with my reasoning? Is my reasoning wrong, or are you just disagreeing with it? Because I think that my reasoning is very sound. If you think that I shouldn't care about that, that's fine. But I'm explaining to you very clearly that is my reasoning. That is the cause and effect that goes through my mind. And I think that it's an extremely sound logical process. Like I said, it's loser reasoning. Putting pronouns in a video game is cringe, I agree, but it's saying I'm so happy this shit's failing is tiring. It's loser reasoning. I completely disagree with you. If it's loser reasoning, then why am I winning? The game's dying. The game's dying. Everybody's laughing at it. The studio is going to have huge layoffs. There's going to be more of these people in the unemployment line. And ultimately, I think that we've created another point on the graph where a game is negatively affected by the ideology it seems to represent. So how is it loser, Rick? How is it loser reasoning when it's working? Like, I'm so confused. How does that make any sense? Game's filling because the meta is boring? You missed my point. And also, it was people didn't like it before the game even came out. That's not even true. I don't think your marathon fits your delineation of set ideologies. You can not like the art style, but I think it's legitimately just the art style. I don't think so. I think if the same people made it 20 years ago, it'd look a lot different. I played on it. I can speak on it. Pronouns have nothing to do with it. This is like a fish saying that they're not in water. The entire game is structured by people that have that ideology. The game will never contradict that ideology. It will always reinforce it. It's not going to work with me. And also, like, by the way, you can have whatever opinion you want on it. At the end of the day, they shouldn't have put the pronouns in the game. Shouldn't have had a bunch of androgynous, weird-looking characters. If they didn't want people to hate it, then they shouldn't have done it. That's the way it is. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And again, like, maybe next time they'll learn. And if they don't, well... well, we know what to do. All right. That's the way it is. So, androgynous at all? You're not going to fool anybody, bro. Like, it is not. And so, anyway, no, that's it. And idea was popular in majority US. Just let it go out on a day and ignore it. Yeah, no, I don't ignore this. You're changing the danger hairs? Yeah, I know. The delusion's really thinking that they're the majority. I know. And anyway, so getting back to this, I got kind of off topic here. But yeah, it looks like Marathon has massively failed. Bungie has massively failed. And I think that you're going to see huge layoffs probably sooner than later. I think that I think they probably got one more game in them. I think that Sony will probably push them to make a Destiny 3 or some other variation of that. That's what I would kind of assume. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's generally it. And I'm glad to see that. I am. And morons can't comprehend Sony wastes money on games that are dog shit instead of using a majority of money on political statements over investing in better gaming experiences. It means there's a better game they didn't fund instead. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, again, for those people, like, I could make that argument, but that argument is not speaking to the true core of the way that I feel. Like, I'm talking about, like, that's like a second-order effect, right? The real reason is so there's a pattern of this behavior not being successful. That's really the reason why. And so, yeah, it's just that simple. And where are the political statements? Do you think that a character like this, anybody wants to cosplay or play as a character like this? Absolutely not. I think that characters are intentionally made androgynous, weird-looking, or ambiguous in a way that is supposed to subvert beauty standards inside of video games, and it is a subversion of the way that we see things in its totality. It is the fixation and the focus on the fetishes, while the normality and heteronormity is demonized. It is the memeing about showing girls' feet constantly, but the moment that you show a girl's ass, it's sexual objectification. It is an act of war, in my opinion, against any form of heteronormative displays of sexuality. And I know it sounds crazy. I know you might think to yourself, I'm out of my mind. But I want you to go through media, and I want you to go through a lot of these newer games made by Western studios, and I want you to make a graph. And you're going to find out that if you put enough dots on that graph, you're going to have a line. It's the way it is. It sounds crazy, but, you know, again, I think that's what it is. I think they're lazy and incompetent. You give them too much credit. I don't think that. I understand they not want to make money. It's because they've been infected by that. It's from 2004. She had 3 lines max. Small war. What is this here? Yeah. This is a good example. This is what people want to be. This is what guys like, and it's also what, you know, girls are cosplaying, etc. So if you're not making characters that are appealing in this way, you're not making content for the audience. So the moment that you have a developer that's making content that is unappealing to the audience, you immediately should have a problem.